everyone at 10-3 is going to be trying to win their last 2 rounds, and the better half or so of those with high tiebreakers or tiebreakers that wind up holding up at the end of the event, they're still alive for top 8, but we really don't know what's going to happen with the players that end the tournament 12-3. And remember, there are 2 rounds to go, this one and one more that Jim and Corey will bring you.
Yeah, so those 7 players will be doing their damnedest to not pick up another loss here, unfortunately. We know half of them are probably going to. Take a quick look at page 2 of our standings and see who all the other 10-3s are that are sweating. So that is the rest of the players who are hoping to win out from here on out.
Yeah, so taking a look at Austin Graham as an example, Azorius Control, we love seeing somebody with, a distinctive archetype that's not just another Is It Cauldron or Mono Red deck, but Austin has currently the worst tiebreakers of 10-3, so it would be like a little bit of a stretch. Let's try to win the last 2 rounds, and we'll see, but, not necessarily in wonderful shape based on 12-3 likely being the cutoff.
Yeah. So we can't give you exact numbers. We don't know entirely how many 12-3s we'll end up with. I'm sure someone smart in the chat could do that for us. But we do have a pretty sweet feature match coming up. Round 14 has started. We're just waiting for our players in the feature matches to get settled and seated. So in the meantime, we can take a look at the deck lists of the players we're going to be checking out. And it's going to be Kellen Pasteur up against Ray Zhang. So Kellen's list is this super sweet Simic aggro deck, and I really like the construction of this. I think Jackal, genius geneticist, to say that 10 times fast, is a super cool design. And yeah, Reed, tell us about this deck. What's it trying to do?
Okay, so this deck is amazing, and I want to first preface that this is an overperforming archetype, not just in Kellen's hands, but a couple of other players that are making deep runs and generally a high performer in terms of its conversion rate day 2. Now, the story here is, well, first of all, as you mentioned, making good use of some new cards from Marvel's Spider-Man, with Jackal being a really high-performing legend in this deck. Otherwise, this is kind of optimized around the card Ouroboros. So looking to curve cheap creatures, even ones that produce multiple bodies in the case of Paw Patch Recruit, into Ouroboros, protect it with Snakeskin Veil and sideboard counter spells, and supercharge it with Innkeeper's Talent. Another very key card is that one that might be familiar to you in the very top right of your screen, Llanowar Elves.
Yeah.
Everyone was so excited when Llanowar Elves came in Foundations because it's not all the time that we get access to a really powerful one-drop mana accelerant in Standard. It's just been tricky to find the right home because, as we see from browsing the rest of the standings, the color green just isn't really present in a lot of the top archetypes, the tier 1 archetypes in Standard. But Kellen and the Simic deck seem to have found a really, really, really good way to leverage Llanowar Elves and get out to those quick and effective starts.
And for those of you interested, Kellen is currently sitting at 7-1 up against the Is It Cauldron matchup.
Amazing.
So certainly seems to have their number, just losing against Joseph Puglisi, who was leading the tournament for some time. So let's now take a look at his opponent's deck list in the hands of Combo for the Sake of Combo online, Ray Zhang. This is like you'd expect to see. All your usual suspects are there, but there's some sweet inclusions in Ray's take of this archetype.
Yeah, the card to draw your attention to is Artist's Talent, which is a little slow to get going. It's another 2-mana card that doesn't immediately impact the board, but boy, when it gets going, it gets going. Because the default ability, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you get to discard and draw. That's going to supercharge Marauding Mako and Prophetic Memory. It's going to fill your graveyard for Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Can also go wild with Quantum Riddler if you're able to sort of empty your hand and get going with both Artist's Talent and Quantum Riddler on the battlefield at the same time. You can churn through so many cards so quickly. And then just speaking about Ray Zhang in particular, they are such an amazing player and deck builder, having brewed up a lot of the most interesting and meaningful archetypes over the past couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, no surprise to see Ray with some spice, and I really hope we get to see a great match here between two of the most interesting decks remaining in the tournament.
I feel like we will. And I will say, I feel like Ray and their team, Sanctum Vol, are pretty much responsible for this Tiny Big Enough getting banned.
Yep.
In conjunction with Storm Chaser's talent, you know, doing all the loop shenanigans with the Orzo Pixie decks or the Esper Pixie. So, yeah, certainly can expect some cool little interactions and some fun combo stuff coming from our players who are ready now. So let's jump on down to the feature match area and get round 14 underway. Let's see who can improve their record and improve their chances of cracking a top 8. Away we go. Kellen Pastor up at the top of your screen. Ray Zhang down below. Ray is at 10-3. Kellen is at 11-2. So he is going to be fighting the good fight there to keep those losses at only 2.
Yeah, correct. So this is a pair down and different stakes. For Kellen, this is pretty fair to say it's a win and in. If Kellen wins this match, he'll have notched the 12th win and be ready to, you know, win, draw, or possibly even lose to make the top 8. Ray is more in that crowd of trying to win the last 2 rounds and then see what happens in terms of tiebreakers, but still a great position and a very, very meaningful match for both players.
You mentioned Lana War Elves. I like Gene Pollinator. It's a cool little guy. It doesn't die to just 1 point of damage, and it's able to use your untapped stuff to add some mana here. But a really nice start here for Kellen. Has Jackal down, has counters going, so now 2 drops are going to get doubled. But on the other side of things, Ray has found Artist Talent as well as Fear of Missing Out. So now we should see some of that turbocharging get going there if they've got any extra gas in the tank, which I'm pretty sure they do. Keen-Eye Curator. Ooh, copy.
Wow, this is my first time seeing Jackal in action, but this is really impressive. Like 6 bodies on the battlefield to your opponent's 1.
It's so gross.
Yeah, it's very, very gross. So Kellen with a really fast and explosive start on the play. Ray with their back against the wall early. And, you know, this is the story of Artist Talent. This card requires some investment. You have to spend a pretty crucial turn of the game, turn 3, setting it up without impacting the board. But what will it do next turn is the big question.
Yeah. And another great thing about Jackal and copying these creatures is, you know, something like Keen-Eye Curator is also excellent at graveyard management, which we know one of the game plans of this as a Cauldron deck is digging in the graveyard and, you know, getting that combo assembled. So certainly going to be a tough one for Ray to navigate here pre-board.
Yeah, the double Keen-Eye Curator, super meaningful against the Delirium prospects, against the Cauldron prospects, even could just nab that Winter Night Stories, which we might see Kellen do. Not going to pull the trigger on it, so Ray has first priority here after the Quantum Riddler's ability resolves. Could just harmonize the Winter Night Stories if that's what they choose to spend their turn on. Seems pretty likely you get another turn here, even against an Ouroboros. Take 2, 4, 6, 10, 14 damage, potentially. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's getting dicey, but this is... Okay, let me rephrase this. This is definitely Ray's last turn to set up. You know, after this, it's going to be about board presence, winning the game, answering threats. So if you want to do the Winter Night Stories thing, now's the time.
Yeah. I think Ray agrees with you. I saw a Mako and a Soul Cauldron in hand. Soul Cauldron in hand.
And I think one of the big decisions there was Ray had the Marauding Mako, could deploy the Mako and then harmonize Winter Night Stories to try to grow the Mako, but anything you do gives Kellen another opportunity to exile the Winter Night Stories from the graveyard. So this is a weird game when you're the first to act, you sort of want to just get it onto the stack before your opponent can stop you.
Going to end step. Riddler warps away, and a tapped down fear of missing out. A massive board presence here. Can we find an Orbitoroid alongside this Drowner to just get this game over and done with? Yes. Right, doing quick math here, just to see how much damage is coming through. And that is going to be it.
Unbelievable, Kellen's ability to just dump so much power and toughness onto the battlefield so quickly.
Jackal is a very, very cool card. Doubling your ground forces? Good grief. All right.
Player. Yeah, the double Keen-Eyed Curator, super meaningful against the Delirium prospects, against the Cauldron prospects, even could just nab that Winter Night Stories, which we might see Kellen do. Not going to pull the trigger on it, so Ray has first priority here after the Quantum Riddler's ability resolves. Could just harmonize the Winter Night Stories if that's what they choose to spend their turn on. Seems pretty likely you get another turn here, even against an Ouroboros. Take 2, 4, 6, 10, 14 damage, potentially. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's getting dicey, but this is... Okay, let me rephrase this. This is definitely Ray's last turn to set up. You know, after this, it's going to be about board presence, winning the game, answering threats. So if you want to do the Winter Night Stories thing, now's the time.
Yeah. I think Ray agrees with you. I saw a Mako and a Soul Cauldron in hand. Soul Cauldron in hand.
And I think one of the big decisions there was Ray had the Marauding Mako, could deploy the Mako and then harmonize Winter Night Stories to try to grow the Mako, but anything you do gives Kellen another opportunity to exile the Winter Night Stories from the graveyard. Yeah. So this is a weird game when you're the first to act, you sort of want to just get it onto the stack before your opponent can stop you.
Oh, going to end step. Riddler warps away, and a tapped down fear of missing out. A massive board presence here. Can we find an Orbitoroid alongside this Drowner to just get this game over and done with? Yes. Right, doing quick math here, just to see how much damage is coming through. And that is going to be it.
Unbelievable, Kellen's ability to just dump so much power and toughness onto the battlefield so quickly.
Jackal is a very, very cool card. Doubling your absolutely nuts, especially
VV.
Ooh.
Don't know yet if they have a way to get it into the graveyard.
I don't know if this is the matchup for it, but I would love to see Ray level up Artist Talent to level 3 with VV, because then every single non-creature spell is just like boom, lightning bolt to the face.
Hey, it could be the matchup for it, because at a certain point it gets hard to kill Kellen with combat damage, but having some kind of combo non-interactive win like that could come up.
This is looking very, very similar to Kellen's first game start, as we see the copy of the Spyglass Siren. We've got Gene Pollinator down 2 and Jackal. It's going to get out of hand here if Ray doesn't answer it soon. Oh, gross. And then the map tokens too also pump it up. If you got like a 4-drop or something in hand, you want to go to instead of a 2. Ah! This deck is sweet.
It's really impressive. I think this is what I would play if I had a standard tournament coming up.
Nice.
I've just been dying to get those Llanowar Elves sleeved up, but haven't found exactly the right home.
We got an yeah, we do. Oh, okay. Danger, danger. Good grief. Hey, now, come on, friends. Put your creatures in the right spots here. This is getting messy. I don't like it.
Yeah, so no blocks here because the Gene Pollinator got tapped to cast the Ouroboros. So it's 4 damage flying and a 3/3 trample ground creature that you don't want to throw your VV in front of. So
Yeah.
I think it's like almost immediately the game comes down to just what can you do to equalize the situation. You're going to have to take your damage and then do something very, very, very powerful on this VV turn.
Oh, here we go. I'm stressing here for Ray. Croft's Eidetic Memory, though, alongside Winternight Stories. An excellent way to kick things off. Ding!
Yeah, so could be pretty nice here. You Winternight Stories, you go to combat, you dump the counters on the VV, then the VV can play a Cauldron. Do you have a second copy of VV to exile? Because that would be helpful.
Yeah. I don't think so. Looks like we got a couple Winternight Stories. We have the Cauldron. 1 or 2 lands there? Yeah. VV's gonna be pretty darn big too. Discard needed here from Ray. And also there's plenty of time in this, so Ray has, and probably should, you know, use a lot of it just to think through every possible play, because there's so many different avenues, you know, to advance with this deck.
These games are a small number of turns, but very, very meaningful decisions within those turns.
Yeah. You know, if it is do or die for Ray in this matchup, because 10-3 is already a bit sketchy. Going to 10-4, it's almost pretty much, you know, unfortunately, no top 8 for them.
Correct. If Ray does not win this match, they will not be in the top 8. That's that we can say basically for sure.
Yeah. Torch the tower. Takes down one of the flyers. Move to combat. 5 counters now on Eternities. So 5 mana available for Ray. I think there's a Quantum Riddler in hand there.
Marauding Mako, Quantum
yeah.
Riddler, Winternight Stories, and Agatha's Soul Cauldron.
Yeah.
And then option to harmonize the Winternight Stories, but that would result in tapping your only blocker.
Yeah. I don't think Ray is in the market for that right now. So 3 blue mana, 2 red. Off the VV activation.
Okay, so we've gone through combat. The Prophets has done its thing. VV has been activated to make mana, so VV has done its thing. And now warping the Quantum Riddler in order to provide a body to harmonize Winternight Stories. So I think what Ray's doing is just trying to draw the maximum number of cards in order to set up a possible discard VV and Soul Cauldron.
Trying to find the best way to basically win at this point.
But there is no second copy of VV.
Ooh, VV.
So now you have to use your last 2 mana to try to avoid death next turn.
Yeah. We know there's the Mako in hand, so that's a chump blocker.
Correct.
So what, 4 attackers next turn? Ouroboros could possibly get 2 more counters on it with the map tokens. Still a lot of damage coming through. Hey, nice. Oh, that's a good answer. That should be another ding as well upstairs. Yep. So Ouroboros gets a fresh start and is very, very small now. Good answer there for the big plant worm thing. Ouroboros. Sitting at -3. That'll take the counters off the creatures, right? Can you imagine if it worked like that?
Oh, yeah, like negative, adding negative counters.
Yeah. Fresh start. Pretty sweet piece of interaction from Target Dragonstorm.
Yeah, kind of like the big brother of Unable to Scream.
Yeah.
Both serve the purpose of eliminating an attacker and causing a creature to lose all abilities.
Now Kellen is slowed down a bit. He has to think about this turn, whereas previously he's just kind of been going, all right, creature attack.
Yeah, it's like each turn that passes, the scales totally tip. So now Kellen is like, if I have to pass the turn to Ray with Vivi already at 7 counters,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting another turn, let alone one where the battlefield looks this favorable. So Kellen is like, can I win this turn? If not, can I remove the Vivi? If not, what can I do to make my battlefield presence as powerful, explosive as possible while I still can?
Yeah. As while Kellen's thinking about his turn, Ray's turn, we know they've got another Winter Night Stories in the yard, which can be harmonized with the Quantum Riddler that's currently warped. We know about the Cauldron in hand. So, in amongst all of that, we need to find one other Vivi for things to get absolutely nutty, and Kellen's just passing the turn back here.
Wow, so that makes me think maybe of Tishana's Tidebinder.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. Can that shut down Soul Cauldron?
Can definitely shut down Soul Cauldron. The question I have is if it can shut down Vivi's mana ability. It can definitely shut down the triggered ability. I'm not sure about the mana ability.
Mako to kick things off. We're gonna harmonize, or are we just gonna pay full price? Oh, okay. Vivi getting harmonized, 3 cards drawn. Tishana's Tidebinder,
All right, so Tidebinder is attempting to counter the triggered ability
and there's 2 of them.
of Vivi. Correct. Now, if the Tidebinder's ability resolves, it will cause Vivi to lose all abilities, so Ray definitely wants to activate for 7 mana in response to this.
Unless Ray's got a piece of removal to get the... Yeah, has to kill both Tidebinders, though. I assume they're both targeting Vivi. Or Vivi's ability.
Correct.
The judge's face on the side there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one Tidebinder dealt with. It's a ding. Then that resolves. And then in response to the target, then we activate Vivi? I guess.
Yes. So...
Or no.
All right, so
Yeah.
Vivi had a triggered ability resolve from Torch the Tower.
Yes.
The one that triggered upon Winter Night Stories being cast, that got countered. And Vivi currently has no abilities, but it seems like Ray is prepared for this with a spell that will get the Tidebinder off the battlefield.
Yeah, and then that unlocks Vivi again. Mako, yeah, that gets a couple counters. Because 2 things were discarded. The Prophets and Soul Cauldron.
Correct. So we have a totally reasonable judge question here. Ray resolved Winter Night Stories, played an island, and then went to trigger the Mako. So, you know, that's, for me, 50-50 whether it's too late or not, and totally appropriate to ask judge.
Judges are your friends. Don't be afraid to call them.
But boy, I'm really wondering about what's going on with this Tidebinder and the VV, because Ray's whole turn depends on getting that 8 mana activation.
Yeah.
And as best I can tell about the game state, VV is locked down with no abilities.
Okay, so those triggers, or that trigger for Marauding Mako is determined to be missed. Doing our best lip reading from the booth here.
Yeah, so everything that's going on in the game indicates that the VV has not lost all abilities, and I'm not sure why.
Okay. Maybe we could get clarification from a judge at some point, and then we can enlighten you all as well as ourselves.
Weakness.
All the discarding, and now Marauding Mako gets to boogie with 2 counters on it.
Okay, I've got it. I've got it.
Yes.
So the first, the 2 Tishana's Tidebinders entered the battlefield. The first one countered the ability and removed that ability from the stack.
Okay.
So the second one cannot also counter the same ability.
Gotcha.
So, so now I understand why the Torch the Tower was successfully able to thwart VV losing all abilities, and we're back on track. Sorry, everyone. It took me took me a while to get my head around that one.
This is why you're the Hall of Famer, Reed. We'll figure it out eventually. Oh, Jackal gets got. So no more copy nonsense that we have to deal with while that's on one of the friends. Tishana's Tidebinder, number 2 off the battlefield. So all groovy, Quantum Riddler, Marauding Mako, and a massive VV on board here for Ray, who's now doing combat math, it looks like. But we still have no VV in the bin.
Yeah, so this is just fair and square VV, you know, like just the actual text of
As
the card,
intended.
which is already, you know, such an amazing creature capable of dominating games. And the Cauldron just sitting there ready, you know, ready to do it all again if the VV is somehow removed from the battlefield.
Jeez. So this tells me that Ray's pretty confident that they'll survive this attack. Because, yeah, there was, I think, the option there for another Winter Night Stories alongside the Quantum Riddler. It was like 1 more mana floating or something.
Yep, but no reason to push yourself.
Yeah.
Again, you know, if you get another turn with the 15 power VV, you're fine. So let's maximize let's focus on maximizing the chance that you actually get another turn.
No, it's not the same format, but that's almost commander damage levels.
Yeah, wow. How big of a player is VV in Commander?
Oh, it's the most popular. Is it Commander? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe that.
It took over one of the 40K, Warhammer 40,000, whatever you want to call it, commanders recently. So, incredibly popular.
My eyes are as sharp
This is like
as my
one of those
soul.
ridiculous maths problems you get in like primary school or elementary school. Timmy has 10 apples.
Right, and the Insidious Fungus, meaningful here because that can remove one of the fresh starts from either the Ouroboros or the Jackal. makes sense to go after Ouroboros. This is Kellen's way to try to keep pace against the VV going nuts on the other side of the battlefield.
So 2 extra counters go on all the critters.
And the Jackal is now free of the fresh start, at least in some ways. It still has -5 in lost all abilities, but it has become a 1/6 creature.
Yeah, it's a decent blocker. Oh, now this is cool.
Granting the Insidious Fungus ability to these creatures.
The VV can sacrifice itself then.
Wow.
That's one way to get it to the bin.
Yeah, so how about make 15 mana and then sacrifice itself and then eat the VV? That's really cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Fungus. I don't know what you're targeting, but...
Wow, Ailey, we might see your play of fully level artist talent. You know, there's plenty of mana to do that if you want to, and then start triggering for 3 damage each with VV.
Oh, please do it, Ray. For me, as a treat. No, eat it, eat it. Oh, it's gonna die anyway. Ding! Ah, Ray doesn't need to do it. They'll go for the good play, not the flashy play. Oh my gosh. This is... Imagine if we just dropped into this match now as like, you know, a second feature match. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, 17 power VV against Ouroboros and a wide board.
What's hiding under those dice?
But yeah, we believe Ray is going to win this turn.
Yeah, I think so.
You just kind of pick your route to get there.
Mm-hmm. Num num num. So all the countered critters have the ability to make blue and red mana. Gross. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they're leveling it up. With 2 spells? Yes! Lightning bolts to the face! I mean, bad VV. No biscuit. That's cool.
That was a crazy game.
Woo! Good grief. Kellen's probably like, okay, I didn't have to deal with any of this and all the others. Is it Cauldron matchups?
And it was the VV on the battlefield.
Yeah, it got the job done.
Rather than the VV in the graveyard. I have to say, like, both games, the player who got to go first had just such a big advantage. And you think about Ray was able to play the VV past the turn and then sort of get the engines rolling starting on turn 4. Based on the texture of game number 1, where Ray was on the draw, that would not have been possible. So what's going to happen in this 4th game? It's going to have to be that level of explosive, powerful draw, but also with some whelped interaction to make sure your opponent can't do the same to you.
That was such a sweet, sweet game. If you're just joining us, I would recommend going back and watching that one. After the first game ending blazingly fast, that one probably took a good 12 minutes to wrap up, I'd say.
Again, a small number of turns, but each turn is just so big, and each play is so impactful that you want to take your time and make sure you're getting everything right.
Awesome play there by Ray. You know, they're no stranger to the feature match area. Haven't had the greatest success in the last little bit with the Pro Tours and stuff, but, you know, seeing them play at this level and at the RCs, like... They just put up such an excellent show, you know. I'm pretty sure they made a couple top 8s as well.
Yeah, Ray
previously.
made the top 8 of the Pro Tour last year. It was standard with the 4-color Legends Slowkirk deck.
Yes.
So that's a deck that I associate really closely with Ray. And then top 8 of a previous Spotlight series with Teamer Otters.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
Another one that's really cool because, like, basically no one was playing that deck besides Ray.
Yeah.
So, yeah, another player... that as a fan of Magic, it's just so easy to root for them.
Yeah.
because they're doing it their own way. They're
Absolutely,
constantly
yeah.
breaking new ground.
I mean, yeah, speaking of brewers, this is probably one of the best combo brewers out there at the moment, so.
Definitely.
Corey is in the feature match area. Who let him out? I mean, keeping a close eye on proceedings on one of our other feature matches. Maybe we can go and take a look-see as well what he's watching. Friends, if you are looking for any cards or newsletters or anything of the sort, sealed single supplies, etc., go to StarCityGames.com. You can get all the latest sets there. Spider-Man, you can go get pre-orders in for Avatar coming up. Lorwyn Eclipse pre-orders should be going up soon as well if they're not up already. It's hard to keep up with all of these cards and releases, but certainly go and check it out, and yeah, make sure you get all the cards you need. We're going to head over to C, table C quickly, and take a peek there while Ray and Kellen get things going. Alexander McIsaac with his sweet Rakdos deck has Nam Dang down to 6 life. And it does look like Izzet Cauldron is getting a little bullied, I'm not going to lie, by this Rakdos deck of Alex's.
Yeah, this match looks really close. Equalized at game 3. However, Nam down to the very precarious 6 points of life. We know that these Hired Claws can deal 2 damage regardless of blockers.
Alex isn't really playing burn spells, doesn't have the ley line down on the board to get some cheeky double spells. Doesn't look like his hand is playing too nice with him either, but Nam may have stabilized in this particular position. Both players with 1 game apiece. Alexander would love to pick up a 12th win here, so getting in 2 more points of damage, jamming with these little lizards.
Yeah, Nam could not block fast enough. He does not want to let any more combat damage through when he's at 4 life.
Yeah, before attacker zone declared, I block.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, full bore. No thank you. Flood Maw. Go away. Now, what does he do about the other critter there? That's a 3/4.
Yeah, so 1/2 loses the fight against the 3/4 Fear of Missing Out. Nam has full Delirium because there's an enchantment creature in the graveyard.
Huh.
So with some card drawing, this could be a really powerful turn.
Ah, poor Bubba. Come on, final card. Don't fail me, says Alexander, is taking his first damage of the matchup here. And Nam is very confident. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to kill whatever you play, so.
Yeah, if Nam has 1 more instant speed interactive card, I think he's locked this game up.
Zoom zoom. Do we have a hasty threat here, Alex? Ah, burn together. Boo. Alrighty. Well, not going the way of our Rakdos hero there, unfortunately, in other feature matches.
So that was Nam Dang, to the best of our knowledge, the first player to notch that 12th win. So assuming a win or a draw in the last round, Nam will be in our top 8, possibly even with a loss. But, you know, that's exactly where you want to be, 12-2 with 1 round to go.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Nam Dang.
GG's indeed. Is it Cauldron? When we usually play this little game of like, what do you think is going to be in the top 8? 5 Cauldrons, maybe 3 others, or more Cauldrons than that?
That's a pretty good I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to be less than that, right?
Yeah.
You know, 5, 6, or 7 are probably the most likely numbers. But Kellen, especially if he can have a good draw on the play in this game, he could be the single most likely player to win the tournament at this point, because you said he's 8-1 or 7-1, something like that, against Cauldron
yeah.
with this unique deck that people maybe weren't quite as well prepared for. He's playing well. He's got a great record. So, you know, there's still some hope for the non-Cauldron players.
Well, from what I'm seeing of Ray's hand, if there's a 3rd land in there, that's pretty good. Let's see if they agree. Kellen hates whatever he picked up, so shipping it back straight away. Going into this round, our top 7 players that had 11 and 2, there were 1, 2, 3, 4 cauldrons, and then 3 non-cauldrons. Simic, Monored, and Rakdos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, five cauldron in the top 8 seems like the right guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe it could be 4, could be 6.
Statistically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander, make it to the top 8, please.
Yeah, Alexander, based on favorable tiebreakers, will probably be playing a win and in for top 8 next round.
Fingers crossed. I really like his deck. I like the Poison Dart Frog. And you know, he's been giving us a good show at all the events we've seen
Absolutely,
him
his
in
games have
lately.
been awesome.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch. And actually, both players ended up choosing to mulligan here. Kellen, unfortunately, mulliganing again, and that's very, how should I say, emotionally trying when you're in you get to go first, your favorable match, you just have to win this one more game to lock up top 8, and it's like, oh, come on, just let my deck do its thing. But instead you mulligan to 5.
I was just going to say the S word that rhymes with kitty is how that feels.
Yeah.
Come on, deck. All right, Ray seems happy with their 6. Let's see if we can get Kellen a decent 5-card opening hand.
Would love to start with an uncontested Llanowar Elves, but at this point, pretty much just anything with a couple of lands will do the trick.
I saw Alan and I saw Jean, I think, unless it was an Insidious Fungus. But, yeah, okay. Not ideal here for Kellen. But it is what it is. For Ray fans out there, though, this is looking pretty promising if they can pull off a similar game as Game 2. Advancing to 11 and 3 potentially. There is a Jean, okay. So it's not a Llanowar Elf, but, you know, it does its best impersonation.
Okay, and the Gene Pollinator survives, so that was test number 1.
Gene number 2 into Insidious Fungus. Okay, so there was a fungus in there as well. Look at all these little dudes. Look at these little dudes as well. Into the Floodmaw in hand for Ray, so some interaction available for any shenanigans that may follow here for Kellen.
So if you'll remember, Ray's deck in particular is heavier on bounce spells for Into the Floodmaw to bounce off, and lighter on actual removal, you know, Torch the Tower type stuff. Against an opponent who mulligans to 5, that's where you really want the hard removal. Like, you start with 5 cards, I just want to trade off resources and, you know, make that resource disadvantage that you're starting with even more pronounced. So there Ray head into the Floodmaw, but no really beautiful opportunity to cast it, whereas Torch the Tower would have been a bit stronger.
I like what Ray's doing. Just get as many creatures down as you can and try and kill Kellen as quickly as possible.
That's another way to do it. That's another way to not, you know, smell blood and not give your opponent breathing room after the tough start.
I mean, there are 2 sharks, right?
That's
Blood,
right.
Water,
blood in the
go.
water.
Kellen is having to tap all of his creatures here to just get something on the board, and there's going to be an Ouroboros buffing up the little guys.
At 10 life, though, it's, you know, even one way to discard will force the Ouroboros into an unfavorable block. And actually, we know about the Into the Floodmaw. So is Ray Zhang about to take this game?
Like just a discard and an attack and Into the Floodmaw and GG? I think they found it. Yeah, 8 damage. There's a Riddler.
Okay, so what you could do is you could play Profts and you could Quantum Riddler and...
Ooh, gross, yeah.
No, actually that doesn't work out super well because the Ouroboros would be there to block.
Yeah. But that is out the way. Let's see what Riddler finds for us. torch the tower. Okay, another profts. Oh, sorry, the profts that you mentioned. So down to 2 goes Kellen. What can he cobble together here? His final gasp, you have to think.
Needs to produce a flying blocker. I guess the Azure Beastbinder can attack and make the Steam Core Scholar lose abilities.
Yeah.
Then replay the Ouroboros. Maybe do that in the reverse order, but hopefully you get my point.
Yeah. Ouroboros returns. Puts some counters on all the things. Beastbinder has vigilance as well, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
so.
right, yeah, so make the Steam Core Scholar lose flying. Hanging on by a thread is Kellen Pastor. Trying to keep that dream alive of getting the 12th win before the final round.
And Torch the Tower looking worse and worse each turn that Ouroboros is on the board. Oh, this is so close, man.
Yeah, one thing is that the Ouroboros has to get into combat.
Yeah.
If you just attack with all 3 creatures must be blocked. Torch Tower could finish something off. We also have the Profts to pump up 1 attacker.
Yeah. So the Steam Core Scholar, even though it's not flying, it's still a 2/2. One, two, three. I mean, the Ouroboros could survive if it blocks the 2/2, if that's nothing, no other effects before damage. Those are 3/3s. The Beastbinder's got a bigger booty. Yeah, it's a 1/3 at base. So it's
Right, so
3,
2, 4, 3, 4, and 3, 5 on Kellen's side. 3, 3, 3, 3, and 2, 2 on Ray's side, with 1 counter to be added at a place of their choosing.
Yeah. And if Kellen keeps getting turns here, that Beastbinder could just keep the Scholar on lockdown. So really what Ray needs is a bounce spell for it or another Steam Core Scholar. Jeez. Big things here now. 3 minutes 45 left in the game. Or in the round, I should say.
And the problem is that if you declare all your creatures as attackers, okay, you're going to force the Ouroboros to block, and you can use Torch the Tower to finish it off. But you're also going to lose so much of your own board that how are you going to win the following turn?
Yeah.
So then you start toying with the idea, well, maybe I don't attack with everything, but then the Ouroboros is going to survive, and we know that that doesn't go very well.
Looks like Ray is going to take an action here. It's looking very, very tight indeed here for these players. Ray fighting to stay in contention for the top 8. Kellen looking to secure his spot almost. Assuredly. Ray now doing some maths to see, can I attack with everything and not die? Because there's no creatures in her hand, right? Sorry, in their hand.
Is that a Quantum Riddler, the last card?
Could be.
Okay, so I understand. Yeah, it's land, Quantum Riddler, and Torch the Tower. So Ray is looking to cast the Torch, then use the Riddler to draw 2, add some counters to something, and force an unfavorable block.
Could that wouldn't work.
Okay, yeah, this is the best Ray can do. I like it.
3 counters onto Steam Core Scholar and turn things sideways.
So the 2/3 power creatures will eat the Makos. The Ouroboros will chump the Steam Core Scholar.
Nice.
But it's still looking decent for Kellen, especially if he can have some kind of strong follow-up. We know he doesn't have land in hand.
How much power is all that? 3, 6, 9. Is that 12 power?
Correct, 12 power.
Oh. Another Orboroid. They travel in packs, you know. Okay. Beastbinder's got to get boogie. Got to get jiggy with it, so making that Steam Core Scholar a grounded creature. I am gobsmacked that he has hung on here for dear life.
Yeah, it spins just so tight. Remember that previous turn, if Ray had any way to discard even one card, they could have pumped the Marauding Makos up to lethal.
Yeah. Goodness me. So down to 11 goes Ray. Shake of the head there. He doesn't seem super pleased about stuff. Was that a fear of missing out I spied? Yeah. I don't think they like the position they're currently in. But let's see what the top of the deck holds here for Rajang. Fear of missing out. Discard, draw. One counter available from Profts. Any way to evade these two blockers?
Well, let's say Ray can't win this turn. You can still present a 6-power attacker, which has to be blocked and will kill either the Ouroboros to keep the game under control, or kill the Beastbinder, which means the flyer would threaten lethal. So it doesn't look like it's enough right on the board, but if Ray can play one more meaningful spell this turn, the game might still be pretty close.
Yeah. And if I'm Kellen, I'm definitely blocking with the Ouroboros because this unblockable Beastbinder is keeping the flyer grounded, right?
Good point, yeah.
Unless he finds another piece of removal, which I don't think he's running all that much of. All right, we've gone to turns now. This is turn 0. So for those of you who have never been in this situation, what are turns, Reed?
All right, so the rules of tournament Magic, you have to complete your best 2 out of 3 match in 50 minutes. If you don't, and the timer runs out, you go to basically sudden death, which is finishing the current turns and 5 more total extra turns. So not 5 more each player, just 5 more altogether. I suspect this game will end one way or another before the 5 turns elapse, but if they do run out, then the match is a draw, which is a less than ideal result in general, though it could have some interesting consequences this late in the event.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't think we're going to get that far. I think somebody's going to die within a turn or two.
That's tough because, like, even if Ray attacks here, there's still 4 attackers coming back, right?
Correct.
And now they're at 7.
And the Quantum Riddler's going away.
Yeah.
So you need at least 1 more blocker, or I guess 2 more blockers or removal
full
spells.
Power now, yeah. Oof. Alrighty. Ray's doing their damnedest here. Beastbinder blocks. Alright, cool. Yeah. Mako as a blocker. Another Riddler goes away. 2 blockers against 4 attackers. An Ouroboros on the board. If one of these creatures gets bounced before the counters get put on, Ray survives, just taking 1 attacker to the face.
Correct. So Ray has to have a bounce spell in order for the game to continue. And if they don't, Kellen just has to trigger Ouroboros and declare an attack, and he is going to be in the top 8.
So, nope, didn't have it. Didn't have it there, unfortunately. If Ray had a bounce spell there, they probably would have won. Because there's no flying. No, there were 2 flying blockers. Never mind. Okay, so Kellen had all of his bases covered. and picks up a 12th win there. 12-2, one more round to go. So things looking super good there for the Simic aggro player.
That match was just as
Crazy.
tight as it gets, especially that third game. Remember, Kellen mulled to 5,
Yeah.
but earning
Didn't
the
matter.
12th win, we believe Kellen and Nam Dang will
Yeah.
be at least 2 of the players represented in our top 8. The rest, they're going to have to try to win the last round and see. But we're getting real tight, and Jim and
It
Corey
is.
are going to show us exactly how the rest of the top 8 is going to shape up.
They get to sweat it out in round 15 with y'all. We're going to take a break, friends. But when we come back, we'll have our final round of Swiss. So don't go anywhere.
I was walking to the bathroom, and he's like, I can't win at all anymore, man. I was like, I feel for you, buddy. Rough beat. So let's take a look at the feature match that we're going to be checking out here. Check out some deck lists. And, well, we got a non-Is-It Cauldron deck that is fighting the good fight. Now, of course, this is Jacob Milkman, Milchman. Sorry for butchering your name there, Jacob. It's been a long day. But, hey, this is our kind of stock Is-It Cauldron deck. But let's check out Jacob's opponent here on Boros Mice. Jim, walk us through this one.
Yeah, a lot of aggro variants in this tournament. So mono red, of course, was our second most played deck. But we've seen a bunch of mono red variants. You've seen Rakdos, Leyline on camera. Now we see Boros Mice here. This is taking the Bloomburrow Mice tribe, Cheeky House Mouse, all the Valiant effects. And, of course, this deck lost Heartfire Hero. This deck lost Monstrous Rage. But it's still kicking. Manifold Mouse is still a really, really powerful card, as is Emberheart Challenger. Dreadmaw's Ire, we've seen on and off on camera to various success, but pretty good against Cauldron. You'll be able to kill those artifacts. Sheltered by Ghosts is really good in the red mirrors, and of course Nemesis. So a lot of the pluses from mono red. A little bit worse mana.
Yep.
But some upsides for sure as well.
Okay, perfect. So that is the feature match that we're going to be heading into when these players get ready to go. But let's take one more look at our second page of standings here to see how these players are doing. So this is our main our main page. Now, these are the players that they will not be making the top 8, but you got to give some props to all these players. They got really close. You know, they're, of course, still playing for, you know, top 16, top 32, and really trying to still get it going. And I want to give a big shout out to 32nd place, Jake Beardsley, alongside this guy. I don't know if you've heard of him. His name's Paulo Vitor Dama da Rosa.
Yep.
Made this Cauldron deck. So, you know,
It's their fault.
It sure is. And I was talking to Jake at that Pro Tour, and Jake was saying, hey, this was PV's brew. I kind of jumped on board, helped fine-tune it and stuff like that. So we can mainly blame the GOAT, PVDDR, but as well, slight blame to Jake Beardsley for sure.
A lot of names here, too. There's a lot of great players in this tournament. Jake Beardsley, Pro Tour champion. Ray Zhang. Pedro Perini came a long way to play this tournament. Pro Tour mainstay. I believe he's from Brazil, I think.
I believe he is from Brazil. He did extremely well in the event that at least you had a great day one, right?
Yeah, we played the match for Ado.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So I feel linked to him, you know, because of that match. It was a big match, of course.
How'd you finish that event?
And so we'll keep going on here, too.
This actually wasn't a dagger. I forgot. I don't know if you had a good day, too, or not. But by your reaction, I'm guessing
that
day
was
2.
The 8-0-1-7. So
oh, okay.
I Oliver to Mike as they're calling it. So poor Oliver here, of course, 8-9-0 into 1-4 today.
Yeah.
It's tough. You know, it's really hard to do all in a big tournament where you need to string together a lot of wins.
Yeah.
A lot of wins. Not just a lot, but a lot, you know, so.
I mean, I have played in, like, 10 years of Pro Tours, and I've never 8-0'd, so, I mean, I can't really talk. And the couple of times I 7-1'd, I went 1-7 and 2-6, so I'm right there with you, buddy.
I've been on both sides of the ball. I 8-0'd and then went undefeated, and then I've 8-0'd and just completely bombed. So
yeah.
I'm always.
Which one did you like better?
Yeah, I'm a real feast or famine kind of player. You know,
yes.
I go on runs. I win 5 in a row, lose 5 in a row. It's never close. So it's woo. Let's just do something.
Exactly. Okay, so players are still getting ready. Let's look back here at this first page of standards and kind of shape what our top 8 is going to look like. So, of course, there's going to be Cauldron everywhere. The deck is performing insanely well, like historically well, I will say. So 3 of them are locked. And then as far as the rest go, kind of down to 12th place, those are the ones that are in contention. So I guess let's start counting the non-Cauldron. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 decks that have a chance or are locked into the top 8. So
Kellen's in.
Kellen is in.
Simic Algorithm, you see him on camera a lot. Kellen's deck looks awesome. Kellen's playing great. Kellen's a really, really good player.
Yes.
You know, and then three red aggro variants. It's Mono Red, Rakdos, and Boros Mice. Even though Mono Red was second most played deck, Rakdos and Boros kind of saying, hey, maybe we're a little better. Add a little bit more to your mono red deck.
And I'll definitely put an asterisk next to Rakdos.
Sure.
But to be fair, it's mono red, but it's still very different. Mono red, you know, that is the leyline version. So
I would say the Rakdos aggro deck is, even though it is almost mono red, is most different than the red aggro Boros Mice deck.
Agreed. If anything, it should just be leyline aggro because that is the difference there. So we have the possibility. Kind of our best case scenario, air quotes best case scenario, of having a 50-50 split. And that's if these aggressive players don't play against each other and they all win And
Wow.
that's the best ratio that we can have.
Corey, I figured you were going to say we're going to have a best case scenario of 8 VV players in top 8, so I can watch some more mirrors. Corby, our
I'm
biggest
not
VV
a
fan in the world.
monster, okay? I'm not a
You
full.
just play one on TV.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the picture that we are looking for, or looking at, I should say, when it comes to what to expect here for the top 8. And, going into the event, Jim, is that kind of the normal numbers that you were saying? If you had to guess going into the event, how many VV Cauldrons would you think would be in the top 8?
Yeah, about. It's the kind of
I think 6 was kind of what I was thinking. That's what Orlando was. So
Yeah, I think 6 is a really good. If the line is like 5.5 or 6.5, I think it's a really good spot to be in.
Yeah.
Again, it's a combination of the deck is clearly the best deck in the format. There's no arguing that. It is one of the best standard decks that we've seen in a very, very long time.
I mean, the last things that I remember that are close to it is Team of Reclamation with the Uro.
Okay.
Incredible. Copycat combo. And in standard, that's the list for me.
Right.
You
yeah.
know?
I mean, you could say like Cobblade, like way back in the day.
Yeah.
Or you could go back to like really old standard formats, But
I don't know. I guess I didn't make day 2 of Pro Tour Cobblade, so I'm just the saying that deck wasn't that good, mostly because I didn't even make day 2 with the broken deck. But hey, you got to draft too. And let me tell you,
yeah.
I can draft with the worst of them.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, and it's certainly an historic event. And I was trying to say early on day 1, that like this is one of those events where like, is this the ideal metagame? I mean, no.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun in a way.
Not
too,
going to sugarcoat it there, yeah.
Where in 5 or 10 years, this is the event we're going to look back on. you
Yeah.
know? Like the event last weekend was a modern event. It was phenomenal. Metagame was great. The games were all great, but they didn't have like that one signifier thing about it to remember in 10 years. Whereas this is like the VV event.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
10 years from now, you'll be playing a cube draft, and someone will see VV and a newer player will go, "Oh, is that card good?"
And be like,
let me tell you.
hold on, young
Let me
whippersnapper.
tell you about VV, and you can look back at this particular event and say, here it is, it's 6 of a top 8. The win rate was XYZ. The deck was so good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun to see when decks they move past the point of being hated when years go by to being beloved again.
Yeah.
Siege Rhino.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone hated Siege Rhino. When
Hated it. I saw it in chat that people were like, I want to go back to the Siege Rhino Mantis
Right.
Riders days, and like, people did not like that at the time. That's for sure,
And
yeah.
even Callblade, Energy, because
Yeah.
once you're past the point of it being a saturation of that's all you see, you look back with rose-colored glasses and you're like, oh, that was pretty fun. So I'm just saying that this is that event, this is that VV event you'll be talking about in 5-10 years, which is pretty cool to be here with you.
See, here's the thing is I just put the rose-colored lenses on right away. Like, I loved playing Energy. I liked playing Energy mirrors. I thought they were fun. Copycat mirrors, great. So I'm just ahead of the games or behind the game, I guess.
Or just the bad guy.
Or
You
just the
like
bad
being
guy.
The bad guy. You just like playing the
That
best,
is
the best
true.
deck,
That is true. Even like the Pro Tour Amsterdam, which we'll look back on as PT Nadu. It's still there were a lot of fun stories that came along with
Right.
that one. And seeing if players could beat the deck. I remember like Matt Sperling still 10-0'd with Esper Gorios, the early versions of that, and just you saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna have someone ask if there's that going forward. But look at Modern. Right after Breach was eliminated, the metagame's awesome. Like, you're looking at the RCs that are popping up, all around the world. The RC that we just had in Houston, the most played deck is around 12 to 14, 20%. Whenever that's the case, it almost doesn't matter what that most played deck is. It could be turn 1 Neoform, a deck that is maybe not that fun to lose against. Who cares? The metagame's great. You got a metagame where that's your top deck at 12, 13%.
Right, that was a format where Breach was, everyone's, oh my god, Breach a few months ago, and now it looks great.
Exactly.
So maybe Standard is awesome in a month, It's
Exactly.
Like, it's all cyclical, it all goes around, and I think it's important to look at the bright side.
Exactly. And, when we have the Avatar coming in as well, we're going to get new cards there, so things are going to be shaken up for our next Spotlight event. As well as we got the World Championship coming, where that is going to be Standard and Avatar Limited. So we're going to see a lot of innovation there. And, we'll really see what Standard will look like then. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
It's fun, too, to see the new cards and also to see, if there is changes to the format as far as bans or things like that, like what that unlocks, too.
Yes.
Because there have been a lot of really cool decks in this tournament we've seen that, like, for example, the Saltair Reanimator deck, where it's just hard to play a graveyard deck when everyone's playing Cauldron, So
Yeah.
it's a deck that could pop up and do really, really well. And other decks are being held down by it, like you were saying. So Cool stuff.
I'm going straight to Yuna and Overlords for sure later on next month. So that sounds like our players are ready to go. We got Winning in Magic here in Baltimore. Let's head on down. All right, jumping into the feature match. We got Leaf on the bottom, and we got Jacob up top. And getting it going, and a cheeky house mouse. This used to be Savannah Lions, and Savannah Lions was amazing. Now it's got extra text, Jim.
All right, Grandpa Corey.
I had to walk uphill both ways to my LGS to play Savannah Lion 2. All right, and here we got, well, I would say a little bit better card than Savannah Lion. We got Emberheart Challenger coming on in for damage.
Yeah, good start. This is kind of like Naked Riddler on turn 2. Riddler's great, don't get me wrong. But
Yes.
This is the weakest portion of the card.
Yeah,
Just